Hi everyone, I hope you are all well and good and looking after yourself and taking care of the people around you. So it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and as young psychologists, it is important that not only are we looking after our own mental health, but we're bringing awareness and shedding light onto it as well. So here I've just got a little picture of what to do and how to look after your own mental health, especially during this pandemic and everything that is going on. So focus on the good. In psychopathology, we have learned that particularly with the cognitive approach, it's all about how we think. Yes, there is some bad, but there's also some good. So focus on what is good. Do something that you love. Go outside, maybe take a walk. Love who you are now and continue to be brave. Okay, so let's get straight into our essay planning. Is my slide going to work? Yes, it is. Okay, so our 12 marker this week is outline and evaluate one or more definitions of abnormality. So we're taking it back this week and we're going to be defining definitions of abnormality. So what I want you to do really quickly is to pause this video and highlight all the key terms or the key words that are in this essay question. So think about what this question is asking you to do. So I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Okay, and before we move straight into it, here's some top tips for success or success in essay writing in psychology. So, like we're going to do today, we're going to plan our essay beforehand. It is so important to plan because it provides us a structure. It ensures that everything we are going to write in our essay actually makes sense and that it is logical. So planning is essential, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. Demonstrate that you have good knowledge and understanding of what is being asked. So just like you did, underlining those key words, that is giving you an understanding of what is actually being asked. And so then we can fully answer that question and show our good knowledge. Use specialist terms, okay? So you're psychology students, so you need to use psychological language. Show the examiner that you can use these specialist terms and you can use it correctly. Don't just throw around demand characteristics and mundane realism if it doesn't make sense. Use specialist terms, but use it in the correct context as well to show that we have our good knowledge and understanding. Use research where possible as well. This is particularly important. For this particular question that we are going to be planning, there's not much research around it. However, in a range of different essays and other essays, it's important that we use research where possible. And ensuring our evaluations are effective, okay? So if a question asks you to discuss, you are weighing up both the strengths and the weaknesses, okay? You can't just give me strengths, you're not evaluating. And also, you can't really just give me weakness because you're not really discussing or fully evaluating, showing two sides of the same coin. So where possible, please make sure you're including both strengths and weaknesses. I know you guys know how to do all of this already, but just to refresh your memory, because we haven't written a 12 marker in so long, so just to refresh your memory on how we can be successful. And lastly, constantly ask yourself why. So if you write something, you have to ask yourself, why is this important? Why have I placed this here? And can I discuss to or show the examiner that I fully understand and can critique everything that I put? So being particularly evaluative and constantly asking yourself why. Okay, so back to the question, outline and evaluate one or more definitions of abnormality. So the question is asking me to outline and evaluate. So I need to describe something and give strengths and weaknesses of something. And then it begins to tell me what that something is. So that is one or more. So it says that I can do one or I can do two definitions of abnormality. And of course, we're speaking about the topic definitions of abnormality. So that is what I highlighted here. And I'm just going to give you a brief structure. Of course, you do not have to follow this, but it's just to give you an idea of how you can write this particular question. So it doesn't have to be the definitions of abnormality that I have chosen. It can be completely or something, two other definitions, for example. So it doesn't have to be the ones I've chosen, but it can be some other definitions of abnormality. So to start off with, you need to give a brief introduction of what abnormality is. So we can already see it's given us it's given us the definitions of abnormality. So to introduce my essay, your introductions don't have to be super long at all. It could literally just be a definition of what abnormality is. So defining all the key terms in our essay. So you could say abnormality is deviating from what is normal or usual behavior, for example. And then we will move on to our definitions of abnormality. So what I picked, you have 4 to pick from. One of the ones that I chose were deviation from social norms. So what I would do is give a brief description of what deviation from social norms is and explain what this is, also using examples. So I'm not going to tell you everything because you have to obviously figure some things out for yourself. But tell me for AO1, what is the deviation from social norms? Okay, tell me about this and also give me an example. And then what I will do, because the question has asked me one or more, I'm going to actually use 2 definitions because I'm allowed to do so. So that will mean I can spread my AO1 marks and my AO3 marks as well. So I could do 3 marks AO1 on deviation from social norms, and the other 3 marks will come from my second definition. So after I've outlined deviation from social norms, I'm going to evaluate it right away. I don't want to wait to evaluate everything till the end because then my essay will sort of look all over the place. So what I would do is I'll evaluate it straight away, and I might say something like it has issues with cultural relativism, for example, or it can lead to discrimination of minority groups. So if we even think about homosexuality in the past, it was deemed as a mental illness, for example, and people who are homosexual were seen as deviating from social norms. But over time, what is considered normal in society changes. Therefore, is this definition really a good definition to define abnormality, for example? So thinking about all of these stuff in order to evaluate deviation from social norms. The next one I have is failure to function adequately. So what I will do is I've spoken about deviation from social norms, I've given my evaluation, and then I'm providing a new evaluation. So I could say another definition of abnormality is the failure to function adequately. This is where, and then again, I provide an explanation and then I provide an example as well. And then I can provide an evaluation again of my AO1 mark. So I could possibly give a strength to this, for example, and say it actually acknowledges the patient's perspective. So it's important that when we're writing this, we're constantly elaborating and expanding on what we've written. So you need to write quite a bit. You need to give me a bit of detail as well. And lastly, as you know, we have 3 AO3 paragraphs. I tell you to do 3 AO3 paragraphs for each essay you do. So I'm just going to add one more as well. So I could add that to failure to function adequately. So I've given a positive, I could use a negative as well. So I could say alternatively, it may not so and so. Okay, so you can put that anywhere. You could put the next AO3 after deviation from social norms, or you could do it at the end as well. Just make sure that there's at least 3 paragraphs of evaluation for your definition. For your definitions. Okay, so again, it is so important that you use whole paragraphs throughout. Okay, you need to expand and you need to elaborate. Make sure you're using detail on your answer. And one thing that I do not want any of you guys to do is write down that this proves that. Okay, we cannot prove anything in psychology, so please avoid writing this. Okay, please avoid writing this. And lastly, please avoid writing this. We cannot prove anything in psychology. And yeah, make sure that everything you've done, hopefully with the tips, you're able to reach, a mark band that you have not seen before. Use the resources that are available to you. So you have the online textbook, you have the lessons and resources for this particular question as well. So make sure you're using that. And I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, please email me and let me know. But again, you can use your own structure, but this is to give you an idea of what I'm looking for when you're writing. So yeah, have a lovely day. And please make sure you hand this in by 5 p.m. Thank you. Bye.